Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai 922. The weekend was pretty crazy. I mean, you had all the spring anime coming out, JoJo, Captain Earth, everything. And added on to that, you got Game of Thrones on Sunday. So I had a really crazy weekend, to say the least. Didn't see Captain America yet. That's gonna happen on Wednesday or Tuesday, I think. But this, Natsu no Taizai, once again, Natsu no Taizai comes out with a crazy chapter. Now, this chapter was very intriguing because once again we are given more information about something. Well, about Helbram. About Helbram and something he's involved with. Like this connection between him and the king. It was very, very intriguing. I was like what happened between these two? Something happened that really, because during the chapter, King mentions how he knows. He says like, you're one to talk. You know how it feels to lose something. So something differently happened. Now, beginning part of this chapter, we basically have Helbram on the front cover, and we see him in his new form, and that's Master Helbram, and a little, freak out by it. Even Dreyfus is freaked out by it. He's like saying he heard that he was found by Hendrickson somewhere, but who would have guessed that he was a fairy, And so because I think it was Nostradamus last week, he says, oh, Pixie. I'm like, okay. But this chapter obviously squashed that idea and saying that he is a fairy. So he's just like King. But we found out in this chapter that he is like King, but a little bit different. Because of what supposedly happened in the past with King. So we have Dreyfus there saying that, and we have Helbram saying about his helmet, that it's all worn out and dirty, but I couldn't part with it. And King's basically saying, I don't care. And he's like, what are you so angry about? Was it because I happened to the big cutie pie? And he basically saying, what's so great about your hodgepodge order of knights? And King's basically telling him, I won't ask you to understand how important she is to me. And he says, then why
My character can solve crimes, but she choose.
But then he says, then why don't you keep her in your wallet or something? No, wait, that's impossible. So pretty much, he's basically saying, and then this is when King says this thing. He says, I wouldn't, he says, you of all people should know how painful it is to lose something dear to you. Then you should understand it too, right? And he's telling to King about that. So that line by King makes me think about something. Maybe there was something there about Helbram. That he had something was lost in the past. He lost something in the past. Like someone was dear to him was killed. And saying that, and basically Helbram says he's going to destroy right in front of his eyes. And then he basically goes in with what? Now, I didn't know what that was that came out of the ground. Apparently, we find out in this chapter. That is the sacred tree. The roots of the sacred tree. That threw me off. I was like, whoa. It came out of nowhere. And he's just trying to attack Diane with it. And King blocks it. And he's like, whoa, nice save. He's being a douche, Helbram. He really is. And he blocks it again. And he's like, were you trying to attack me? And so on and so forth. And he's just beating the shit out of King. It's pretty bad. And we have Hauser saying, what are those tentacles? Gear is basically telling him they're branches. Doesn't matter where they are, he's going to be. And he's just bouncing around. he's like, Fairy King is so bouncy, you know. And it's just getting, it's just so ridiculous. And he tells King, like I said, Chistival is useless against me. And says that King is a forsaken king, Fairy King. And you're a failure of a Fairy King, therefore you are not able to utilize Chastival, which was created from the Sacred Tree. But since I'm a true fairy, the Sacred Tree is on my side. Now why don't you just sit back while you destroy your giant girl, torn her to bits. So I'm guessing what he means by that, helbram, is that the thing that happened in the past, and because of him leaving, King during that whole exchange, remember when Bon was with his sister, that thing. I believe that's what helbram was getting to, or something that happened in the past, and that denounced King being a true fairy, So we have Hauser coming in to destroy them, and Helbram's like, that's amazing, Mr. Hauser. By the way, they aren't Marses. They're just roots. And apparently they can regenerate. So he gets hit, Hauser. And he says, now, Fairy King, witness the cruel death of the one you love. Burn this image into your eyes and your heart. And it seems like Diane's dead. And then we go from that to Meliodas, surprisingly. And we have Meliodas, and he basically says something along the lines of about King and Diane and Galther. And you recently have helbram saying, your cutie pie is shredded. Take a look. See it close with your eyes. He throws them on the ground. And then Meliodas says, first Diane and Galther's powers faded. Then King's power rose to an incredible level. So basically, I'm guessing because of Diane getting hurt and everything, King's power increased. Obviously Galther Helbram's really shocked about that. He basically saying none of his attacks reached her, none of my attacks reached her at all. And he concentrates his powers not only protecting, not on your own protection or attacking me, but protecting her. And then I think we see Diane saying, I remember this smell. And then we just see this last page of King. He looks very badass in this last page. And he basically he says Harlequin. And it says next issue we have the cover and center page, center color for a total of 51 pages. The massive side story that reveals the truth behind King's sin, plus more info on the collaboration with, these people. I don't know who those are, but it says to be continued in Gaiden, the fairy king who waited in vain. So essentially, what is going to happen next week? We're going to find out what King's sin was. Now, because he's sloth, I'm going to guess that it has to do something with him waiting, or that he's slow, or he was too late. At least that's what I think. So what I'm thinking is that at one time, this is just my theory. Oh, by the way, this is getting a 5 out of 5. King was on the side with helbram. He was with helbram. They were on the same side as fairies, Fairy King. And King couldn't protect someone close to helbram. But that's just my hypothesis. It could be anything. It could literally be anything. But that's at least what I'm thinking from what was divulged from this chapter. At least that's what I think. Should be interesting next week to see what this connection is with helbram, how it's going to go down. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I think this was a great chapter, 5 out of 5. My hatred for helbram might lessen. I think so. Depending on what this sin is. Depends on what happened. Because, if it's a really crazy thing that went down, that really scarred Helbram, I might have a little sympathy. For Helbram's character. Because, there are times when characters, in stories and manga, anime, and wherever else, well, they go through something that's really dramatic. They'll change sides. They'll turn evil. It's possible. Possible. You never know. So, but great chapter. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Yeah, my something's going on with my computer. It's there are times when it's just slow. The Safari was acting up and shit, but hey, it doesn't matter. I'm using Google Chrome. Fuck it. But that's the story there. I'm Bonkai922. See you guys later. I'm gonna be in Nostradamus's Death Squad thing. So you look forward to me in that. And this will be uploaded later today. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Helbram. Might have sympathy towards him. Wait and see. See you guys later.